Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Peter, for joining us. Rajiv Trivedi ji, our Secretary Home, and the unsung Hyderabad Brand Ambassador, Motion Pictures of Association India President, Uday. Welcome. Suresh Garu, thank you for, in fact, initiating the dialogue, initiating the process. But for you and but for the support of Raj Kumar and the rest of your team, this would not have happened. Thank you very much. Abhishek Chaube, keep flying. Urta Punjab is doing phenomenally well. Keep flying. I think what you've done, the fight you've gone through, I think has only made you stronger. You know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So all the very best. Great job. Gyanvel Rajagaru, thank you very much for coming all the way from Chennai to support the Telugu film industry. And like you said, this is not just about Telugu film industry. It's also about the film industry across the country. So I think this is an effort which, in the right earnest, has begun in Hyderabad by the Telangana government. But we are hoping, and I'm very, very confident, that the rest of the country, rest of the states in India would also follow. And to all the senior members from the Telugu film industry, I see a lot of producers. I see a lot of guys who've made loads of money recently, especially the Bahubali guys, Prasad, Shobhu, and all the other members of the Telugu Producers Council. Mahendra Reddy Garu, our Commissioner of Police Hyderabad, Cyberabad Commissioner Anand Garu, and to our very efficient ID Secretary, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, who actually spearheaded the whole effort, but I get to speak and he gets to sit there, so that's the good part. Soumya Mishra ji, and to everybody else who is in the gathering as well, once again, a good morning. So yes, this is an effort by the government of Telangana, and when we started talking to the film industry, in the Telugu film industry to be precise, we really wanted to understand the problem. And when we understood the magnitude of it, when we understood that we are losing more than 1,000 crores of rupees every single year, in fact, that was a staggering number. When we talk about intellectual property, when we talk about innovation, when we talk about disruption and in various spaces, be it in movies or elsewhere, a lot of times innovators are penalized in situations like this. We just heard Abhishek narrating his story. I think, by the way, Abhishek also has a Hyderabadi connection. He was sent to a boarding school in Hyderabad for about 3 years, Abhishek, 3 years. So he was basically grounded. He was sent here. When Abhishek was narrating his story, in fact, we were all thinking as to how much, it's a painstaking process to make a movie, or, painstaking process to do anything creative. Any kind of research, any kind of, creativity that you have to come out with, a creative product that you have to come out with, obviously is painstaking and obviously is consuming, all-consuming. Now, once you go through the process and once you've invested significant amount of effort, besides obviously monies, and when something like this happens, it's shattering. So that's exactly what we thought we would correct. And in fact, Ambassador, our Chief Minister is a man who believes in imbibing the best practices from across the world. The luxury of having a clean slate beginning by way of actually being a new state is that you're not burdened by legacy. So therefore, when we started this conversation, we wanted to find out from the Telugu film industry as to who it is in the world, across different film industries, different countries, who it is that is actually doing the best in terms of curbing this piracy. And we realized it was UK, and they have a very, very strong, robust intellectual property crime unit. So we basically decided to not reinvent the wheel. We decided to actually take from them, learn from them, and we actually introduced now TIPCO. And we are very, very hopeful. Our police forces, in fact, we are very proud. This was a state that was created amidst a lot of apprehension, amidst a lot of prejudices, let me put it that way. There was this fear that there would be large-scale violence in Hyderabad, there would be the fallout of bifurcation, etc. But I'm very, very happy to share with you, there hasn't been a single instance in the last couple of years because of the efforts of the government, because of the efforts of our police administration. We've been very, very successful in terms of maintaining law and order, and that's why we're also able to attract large-scale investments into the state as well. So with the kind of efficient police administration we have, we believe very strongly that TIPCO will be a roaring success, and it will actually be a shining example for the rest of the country to also follow in days to come. Having said that, I think one of the other things which we are also very serious about, in fact, when Uday was talking about how kids these days are exposed to to a lot of information which definitely is unwanted and unwarranted, which is actually incidental, if you ask me. If they're looking for something else, they end up looking at something else altogether, and it leads again into a set of complex issues. One of the things that we've also taken up as a challenge, in fact, we've discussed with the internet service providers in the past. The Government of India's Telegraph Act of 2001, I think it is, subject to correction, actually prevents or actually gives us a leeway. It gives us actually the provision to block all child pornography sites. In fact, when we started out in the right, again, once, like I said, with the right intent to block these child pornography sites, we again ran into a bit of resistance, but we are very, very confident, but we are very, very determined to also ensure that this child pornography content is definitely blocked. Because eventually, if you think about it, information out there, there's way too much. And how do you ensure that you actually have your children not exposed to this? That's a huge challenge in itself. So we are working on a solution also for this to ensure that the children of our state are not exposed to this kind of pornography sites. Now, TIPCO having been instituted, the next logical thing would be to work in a collaborative fashion with the film industry here. But that is just the beginning point, the starting point. As was mentioned by Rajkumar, I think the challenge is basically containing all these servers, all these sites which are hosted across the world. Most of them are hosted in North America, as was pointed out. Some of them are hosted in Europe. Some of them are hosted in India. Some of them elsewhere. Now, how do you actually create a network which then actually will be able to contain and provide real solution to the problem? That is something that I think will require a lot of determination, a lot of cross-border support, in fact, probably some multilateral understanding at the national level. So that's where I think Ambassador Verma can definitely play a larger role in terms of getting the United States onto the board, and also in terms of getting both the countries, India and United States also, to have a dialogue, to come out with a policy to ensure that we actually make sure this piracy is arrested. And the last thing I want to say, because this is a challenge mostly for the police force out here, obviously with the support of our IT department and others, I think the policemen who actually do exceptional work, in this case, should also be rewarded amply. So therefore, in tandem with the film industry, in fact, they had proposed, the film industry had proposed the introduction of, I think, what was it called, Super Cops? Movie Cop Awards, support possibly, and good performing cops in TIPCO, in terms of being able to contain piracy, will be given Movie Cop Awards. I don't know what that means exactly, but it sounds good. Movie Cop Awards will also be instituted to reward good performances. And in days to come, with the learnings that we will have over a period of time, I'm sure we'll streamline it. I'm sure we'll add more and more to the bouquet of activities of TIPCO. And in fact, I was just sharing with Ambassador also. We wanted to call it, I'm just joking, guys, don't take this very seriously. Yeah? We wanted to call it Tipsy. The police wouldn't agree. So, so we decided to go with TIPCO. But nevertheless, I think it's, all jokes apart, this is serious business. And we are very serious and determined about curbing piracy. And I'm very happy, in fact, since January, I think this year, there hasn't been a large-scale piracy reported, at least with respect to Telugu film industry. I think part of the success can also be attributed to the government's proactive measures in terms of curbing it. So once again, good luck to the police department, to the entire government machinery that is involved in TIPCO, and we'll work collaboratively with the film industry in Telugu. And if needed, we can obviously share this knowledge with the Tamil film industry, with the film industry in Bombay, and with the Indian film industry at large. So once again, congratulations to the police department, to the IT department, and thank you very much, Ambassador, for joining us.